Most people will go their entire lives reacting to the world around them. They believe peace is something you find, not something you build. They spend their energy trying to control the uncontrollable, wondering why they always feel so tired, so defeated. But the truth is, the world doesn't need to change for you to find peace. You do. There's an invisible war being fought every single day. Not with weapons or armies, but within our own minds. It's the battle against the sting of a careless comment, the weight of a silent judgment, the lingering anxiety that follows us into the quiet hours of the night. We are told to have thicker skin, to just let it go. But we are never taught how this isn't about ignoring the world's negativity. It's about learning to see it for what it is, a passing storm, while you remain the unshakable mountain. We will explore 10 principles, not as rules, but as tools to build an inner fortress, a place that negativity cannot touch. This is a journey to reclaim your inner silence. There's a wound that never seems to scar over. It's the place inside us that still flinches when touched by the words of others. Think of the last time it happened. Maybe it was a message that lit up your phone late at night. You were lying in the dark, the house was still, and for a moment, the blue light was the only thing that existed. You read the words, and there it was, a knot in your stomach, tight and cold. Your breath caught in your chest. The words weren't a physical blow, but you felt them just the same. An accusation, a disappointment, a dismissal. You closed the phone, but the words didn't stay on the screen. They followed you into the darkness. They replayed in your mind, over and over, each time with a little more venom, a little more weight. You started defending yourself in imaginary arguments, crafting the perfect response you would never send. You lay there, awake, held hostage by a handful of pixels on a screen. Or perhaps it was quieter, a meeting at work. You shared an idea, one you were proud of, and someone across the table gave a polite, tight-lipped smile and said, "That's an interesting perspective." And in that single word, interesting, you heard everything they didn't say. You heard naive, unrealistic, not good enough. The rest of the meeting was a blur. The voice in your head was louder than anyone in the room, dissecting your failure. You felt a familiar hot shame creep up your neck. You felt small. This is the state of our unguarded mind. It is a mirror, but not a clean one. It's a mirror that has been smudged and cracked by years of experience. When someone's negativity is thrown at us, the mirror doesn't just reflect it, it distorts it. It catches on our own insecurities, our own secret fears about ourselves, and magnifies them. The careless comment from a stranger becomes proof of the very thing we fear we are. Not smart enough, not worthy, not enough. The mirror shows us a monstrous version of ourselves, and we believe it. We believe the reflection is the reality. We spend so much of our lives polishing this mirror, trying to make it perfect so that it will only reflect back praise, approval, and love. We contort ourselves, we people please, we shrink, we perform. We live in a constant low-grade fear of the next negative reflection. What if the problem isn't the reflection? What if the problem is that we believe we are the mirror? The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus, a man who was born a slave and knew the depths of human cruelty, offered a key to break this spell. It wasn't a complex theory, but a simple, devastating truth. He said, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them." And more pointedly, remember, it is not he who reviles you or strikes you that insults you, but your opinion that these things are insulting. Think about that. It is your opinion that harms you, not the words, not the person. Your judgment about the event is the source of the pain. The words are just sounds. The text message is just light on a screen. They are external. They are neutral. They have no inherent power to hurt you. They are like stones thrown at a fortress wall. They only cause damage if you open the gate, run outside, pick up the stone, and hit yourself with it. We do this all the time. Someone throws a stone, and we spend the rest of the day analyzing the stone, wondering why they threw it, what it means about us that we were a target. But we never question whether we had to pick it up in the first place. This is the beginning of awareness, the first step toward becoming untouchable. It is the simple, quiet realization that there is a space between what happens to us and how we respond. And in that space lies our power, our freedom, our peace. When was the last time someone's words followed you home? Did their words carry a truth you needed to hear, or did they simply echo a fear you already had about yourself? What would it feel like to let their words be just words, to let them pass by like clouds in the sky, without attaching your peace to their journey? The pain you feel is real, the sting is sharp, but it is not inflicted by the outside world. It is an inside job, and that is the most frightening, but also the most liberating news you will ever receive. Because if you are the source of the wound, it means you also hold the cure. You don't have to wait for the world to become kinder. You just have to stop giving it permission to be cruel to you. Asterisk, there is an exhaustion that goes deeper than muscle. It's the soul-deep weariness that comes from trying to hold everything together. Imagine, you're standing in the center of a room, spinning plates on long, thin poles. One plate is your career, another is your family. There's a plate for your health, your finances, your friendships, and a dozen others for the expectations you and the world have placed upon you. You run from one to the next, frantically giving each a little spin to keep it from wobbling. Your heart is pounding. You can't look away for a second, because you know that if one plate falls, it might knock over another, and soon the whole system will come crashing down around you in a mess of broken porcelain. This is how most of us live, in a state of constant anxious vigilance. We are trying to control the uncontrollable. We worry about the economy, about what our boss thinks of us, about whether it will rain on the day we planned a picnic, about the endless scroll of bad news that pours from our screens. We are trying to spin plates that were never ours to hold. We are trying to command the wind and the rain, and we are breaking our own hearts with the effort of it all. We feel powerless because we are pouring all of our power into things we cannot change. The Stoics offered a different way, a way to put down the plates that don't belong to us, and to build something that cannot be broken. This is the first foundation stone of your inner fortress, the dichotomy of control. Epictetus made it simple. Some things are within our power, and some things are not. That's it. That is the most important philosophical razor you will ever own. Within our power are opinions, our choices, our judgments, our actions. Everything that is a direct product of our own mind. Outside our power is everything else. Our body, our reputation, our wealth, the actions of others, the events of the world. This isn't a pessimistic view, it's a realistic one. It's an act of profound liberation. Imagine drawing a small circle on the ground around your feet. Everything inside this circle, your will, your character, your responses, is your kingdom. You are the absolute sovereign here. Everything outside that circle, the traffic, the weather, the stock market, your coworker's mood, is the territory of other forces. You can influence them, perhaps, but you cannot command them. The great mistake we make is to live our lives trying to rule the lands outside our circle. We invest our peace, our identity, and our energy in things we do not and cannot control. And the result is always anxiety, frustration, and a feeling of being a victim of circumstance. The Stoic says, stop, turn your attention back to your own kingdom. Tend to your own garden. That is where your true work lies. That is the only place your efforts will ever bear guaranteed fruit. Once you have drawn this circle, you can begin to build. This leads to the second principle from the Roman emperor himself, Marcus Aurelius. He called it the inner citadel. He wrote to himself in his private journal, "Remember that your ruling faculty is invincible when it withdraws into itself and is satisfied with itself, doing nothing but what it wishes to do." He reminded himself that no matter what chaos raged around him, and as the ruler of the known world, he faced unimaginable chaos, he could always retreat. Not to a physical castle, but to a fortress within his own mind. This inner citadel is not a cold stone dungeon. It is a quiet, well-lit room inside of you. It is a space of pure reason and calm. When the world becomes too loud, when people are making demands, when fortune turns against you, you can go there. You can close the door, and for a moment, be still. In this room, other people's opinions cannot touch you. The day's failures cannot stain you. The future's anxieties cannot reach you. Here, you are safe. Here, you are in command. Building this citadel takes practice. Every time you are faced with a negative event, you have a choice. You can react emotionally, rushing out onto the battlefield of the world. Or you can pause, take a breath, and retreat to your citadel. You can observe the event from the high window of your fortress. From there, you can see it for what it is, an external event. Not good, not bad, just an event. And from that place of calm, you can choose your response wisely, rather than reacting blindly. But what about the truly terrible things? What about loss, betrayal, sickness? A fortress is no good if you aren't prepared for the siege. This brings us to the third foundation stone, a powerful and often misunderstood practice from Seneca, Premeditatio Malorum. The premeditation of evils. This does not mean living in a state of constant worry. It is the opposite. It is a strategic tool to rob misfortune of its greatest weapon, surprise. Seneca advised that we should start each day by thinking about the things that could go wrong. We might lose our wealth. We might be betrayed by a friend. We might face injury or illness. We might even face our own death. The point is not to dwell on these things and become miserable. The point is to rehearse for them. It is like a fire drill. You practice the escape route not because you want the building to burn down, but so that if it ever does, you don't panic. You know what to do. You have walked the path before in your mind. By imagining the worst, you do two things. First, you often realize that you are stronger than you think, that you could, in fact, survive these calamities. Second, you cultivate a sense of gratitude for what you have right now. When you have mentally rehearsed losing your job, you feel a deeper appreciation for the work you have today. When you have contemplated the loss of a loved one, you hold them a little closer. Premeditatio Malorum strips away your naive dependence on fortune. It makes you resilient. It turns you from a fragile optimist who hopes for the best into a tough realist who is prepared for the worst. These three principles are the bedrock of your untouchable self. The dichotomy of control draws the blueprint. The inner citadel is the structure you build, and premeditatio malorum is the training of the guards who protect it. What are you trying to control right now that is completely outside your circle? What would it feel like to unclench your fist and just let it go? Where is your inner citadel? Can you find that quiet room within you, even for just 10 seconds? What is the one thing you fear losing most? Have you ever considered, just for a moment, that you could survive even that? You are not the plates you are spinning. You are the one who can choose to walk away from the frantic performance. You can choose to put your energy not into holding things up, but into building something that can never fall down. Why does it feel like some people are punished by life, while others are blessed? We ask ourselves this when we are in pain. Why me? The feeling is a deep and burning bitterness. You did everything right. You were a good person, you worked hard, you trusted people. And yet, here you are. The relationship ended in betrayal. The job you poured your soul into was given to someone else. The illness arrived without an invitation. It feels unfair. It feels like a cosmic injustice, a personal attack from the universe. This feeling of victimhood is a prison. It locks us into a cycle of resentment and anger. We look at our struggles as defects, as proof that we are flawed or that the world is cruel. We carry our hardships like heavy, jagged stones, and they weigh us down until we can no longer walk freely. But what if the stones weren't meant to be carried? What if they were meant to be used? What if the obstacle in your path was not a roadblock, but a signpost? This is where the Stoics perform a kind of mental alchemy. They teach us not just to defend against negativity, but to transform it, to take the lead of suffering and turn it into the gold of wisdom. This begins with one of the most powerful ideas in all of philosophy, a concept Marcus Aurelius lived by: Amor Fati. A love of fate. To love your fate does not mean you have to be happy about tragedy. It does not mean you say, "I'm glad this terrible thing happened." That is a misunderstanding. Amor Fati is a deeper trust. It is the conviction that whatever happens, whatever joy, whatever pain, whatever unexpected turn your life takes, is a necessary and essential part of your path. It is choosing to believe that nothing that happens to you is a mistake. It is to say, this thing in front of me, this obstacle, this pain, this is my life now. And I will not just bear it, I will not just endure it, I will embrace it, I will work with it. I will find the purpose in it. I will love it, for it is the material I have been given to shape my soul. This mindset leads directly to the next principle, which is the practical application of Amor Fati. It is the idea that the obstacle is the way. When someone is rude to you, your first reaction is annoyance. But with this new frame, the rude person is no longer just an obstacle to a pleasant day. They become training partners. They are an opportunity delivered by fate for you to practice patience, forgiveness, and emotional control. The traffic jam is no longer a personal insult from the universe. It is a lesson in surrender and letting go of control. A devastating career setback is not the end of your story. It is an unexpected plot twist, forcing you to discover a strength or a new path you would never have found otherwise. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The fire that threatens to consume the forest is the very thing that allows certain seeds to germinate. The weight that could crush a bone is the very thing that, when lifted correctly, builds muscle. This is alchemy. You don't change the event. The event is external, outside your control. You change the meaning you assign to it. And to do that, you need the third tool in this section: objective judgment. Our emotions are like fuel. When something negative happens, we douse it in the gasoline of our subjective labels. A business deal falls through, and we call it a disaster. Someone criticizes our work, and we call it a humiliation. We fail an exam, and we call it the end of the world. These labels are what create the emotional firestorm. Marcus Aurelius practiced stripping events down to their bare, objective reality. He would tell himself, "Don't tell yourself anything more than what the initial impressions report." If your boss raises their voice, the objective reality is his vocal cords vibrated at a higher frequency and volume. It is not he humiliated. The label humiliation is something you added. It's your story, and if you wrote the story, you can unwrite it. Try it. Think of something that is causing you pain right now. Now describe it as if you were a camera recording the event, with no emotional commentary. I received an email with these specific words. Not, I received a devastating email. My bank account has this specific number in it. Not, I am broke and a failure. This practice cools the immediate fire. It gives your rational mind a chance to step in before your emotional mind burns the house down. It allows you to see the event clearly, without the fog of your own drama. Imagine an athlete who suffers a career-threatening injury. In the moment, it is a catastrophe. They can choose to see it that way, to drown in bitterness and resentment for the fate that has befallen them, or they can perform the alchemy. They can choose Amor Fati. This injury is now part of my story. I accept it. They can see the obstacle as the way. This rehabilitation will teach me a mental toughness I never had. This time away from my sport will give me a new perspective on who I am without it. They can use objective judgment. My ligament is torn. That is a fact. It requires surgery and recovery. That is a process. Years later, which version of this athlete is stronger? The one who was consumed by the fire of their resentment, or the one who used that fire to forge a new kind of strength? What is the biggest obstacle in your life right now? What if it's not in your way? What if it is your way? What story have you been telling yourself about your struggles? Is it a story of victimhood, or could you rewrite it as a story of training, of growth, of becoming? The universe is not punishing you. It is challenging you. It is trusting you with difficult material because it knows you have the capacity to turn it into something beautiful. You are an alchemist. The fire is not your enemy, it is your tool. Even when we build our fortress and learn to transform our struggles, there's a small, treacherous part of us that remains vulnerable. It is the ego. It's that part of you in an argument that needs to be right, that needs to have the last word, even when you know it doesn't matter. It's the part of you that feels a flash of envy when a friend succeeds. It's the part that scrolls through social media and feels a quiet ache of comparison, a feeling of being left behind. It's the part that worries about your legacy, about whether people will remember you, about whether you are important. This ego is the source of so much of our lingering negativity. It is the voice that whispers, "You were slighted. You were disrespected. You are not enough." It keeps us tied to the petty dramas of the world, fighting small, meaningless battles. To become truly untouchable, we must learn to dissolve this part of ourselves. The Stoics offered 3 profound perspective shifts to do this. Practices that lift us out of our own small story and connect us to something vast and eternal. The first is called sympathia. It is the belief that all things are interwoven with each other, that we are all part of a single living organism. You, me, the stars in the sky, the person who cut you off in traffic, we are all expressions of the same cosmic whole. When you truly internalize this, your relationship with other people changes. The person who insults you is no longer your enemy. They are a part of you that is hurting. They are acting from a place of ignorance, fear, or pain. As Marcus Aurelius would say, they are like a fig tree that produces figs. It is their nature, based on their own story, to act as they do. To be angry with them for being who they are is as pointless as being angry at a stone for falling. Sympathia replaces anger with a kind of sad compassion. It doesn't mean you condone their behavior or allow them to harm you. You can still protect your boundaries, but the hot, personal sting of their negativity vanishes. You see them not as a monster, but as a wounded part of the same body you belong to. How can you hate your own hand, even if it strikes you by mistake? This perspective shrinks your ego. Your personal offense seems less important when you see the shared humanity in the person who offended you. The second practice is perhaps the most famous Stoic tool of all. Memento mori. Remember, you will die. On the surface, this sounds morbid, but it is the opposite. It is the great clarifier. The thought of our own mortality is the ultimate filter for what truly matters. We live our daily lives as if we have forever. We get caught up in trivial anxieties, petty grievances, and the pursuit of things that have no lasting value. Memento mori is a splash of cold water to the face. It wakes us up. Seneca urged his friend Lucilius to rehearse death, to keep the thought of it close. Not to be afraid, but to live with urgency and purpose. When you remember that your time is finite, a profound shift happens. The argument you had yesterday, it suddenly seems insignificant. The fear of what other people think of you, it evaporates. The relentless chase for more money, more status, more likes, it reveals itself as a hollow game. Ask yourself this question, whispered by the Stoics across 2 millennia. In the face of your death, does this thing that is upsetting you now still matter? Will you be thinking about this insult on your deathbed? Will this worry occupy your final moments? The answer, almost always, is no. The ego, with all its needs and fears, thrives on the illusion that we have endless time to indulge it. Memento mori pulls the rug out from under it. It forces you to focus on what is essential, your character, your relationships, the quality of this present moment. It makes it impossible to waste your precious time on negativity. The final and most expansive practice is what the French scholar Pierre Hadot called the view from above. This is a meditation that Marcus Aurelius practiced constantly. It is an exercise in radical perspective. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself floating up, out of your chair, out of your room. Look down and see the building you are in. Float higher and see your neighborhood, your city, a patchwork of streets and lights. Go higher still until you can see the curve of the earth, the shape of the continents, the swirl of the clouds. Higher still until the earth is just a beautiful blue and white marble hanging in the blackness of space. See the moon, the other planets, the sun as a brilliant distant star. Go further past our solar system into the swirling arms of the Milky Way galaxy, a collection of 100 billion suns. And then further, seeing our galaxy as just one tiny point of light among hundreds of billions of other galaxies, scattered like dust across the infinite silent expanse of the cosmos. Now, from this unimaginable height, try to find your problems. Try to find the person who wronged you. Try to find your anxieties about next week's meeting. They are gone. They have dissolved into utter insignificance. From the view from above, all of human history, all our wars and triumphs, all our love and sorrow, is a fleeting blink in the cosmic timeline. Your ego, your sense of self-importance, cannot survive this perspective. You are, at once, infinitesimally small, and yet part of this entire, magnificent, mysterious whole. This is the deep sea of tranquility. Our daily lives are the choppy, chaotic surface of the ocean. Our ego is what keeps us splashing around in the waves tossed back and forth by every gust of wind. These 3 practices, sympathia, memento mori, and the view from above, are the skills that teach you how to dive. They teach you to leave the noisy surface and descend into the vast, silent, peaceful depths of your own being. Down there, the storms on the surface are just a distant rumor. Down there, you are untouchable. If you knew you only had 1 year left to live, what would you immediately stop caring about? What smallness would you let go of? Can you feel, even for a moment, how you are connected to everything and everyone? Can you feel the quiet peace that comes from realizing that, in the grand scheme of things, your problems are as fleeting as a cloud passing before the sun? There's a danger in moments of great insight. The danger of coming down from the mountain. You have taken the view from above. You have felt the liberating chill of memento mori. You feel transcendent, expanded, peaceful. But then, Monday morning arrives, the alarm clock rings. You open your email inbox and it is full of demands and problems. The car won't start. The kids are yelling. The spell is broken. The peace evaporates, and the stress of the world comes flooding back in. The emotional conflict is the now what? It's the gap between the person you were on the mountaintop and the person who has to navigate the messy reality of daily life. We've learned these grand, beautiful ideas, but how do we keep them alive when the noise returns? How do we make the peace last? The Stoics knew that philosophy was not a one-time revelation. It is a daily practice. It is a lifelong training. And the final, and perhaps most essential principle, is the one that weaves all the others into the fabric of your life. It is the practice of silence. This is not just about not speaking. In our modern world, external silence is a rare luxury. This is about cultivating an internal silence. It is about deliberately quieting the endless monologue in your own head. It is about resisting the constant urge to react, to comment, to have an opinion on everything. The Roman statesman Cato, a Stoic paragon, was known for his deliberate and often prolonged silence. He would listen intently in the Senate while others postured and shouted. He spoke only when he had something of substance to say, something that would improve the situation. His silence was not empty, it was full. It was full of observation, reflection, and wisdom. In our world, we are addicted to noise. We wake up and immediately reach for our phones, flooding our minds with the opinions of strangers, with news designed to make us angry or afraid. We walk or drive with podcasts and music blasting in our ears, terrified of spending even a few minutes alone with our own thoughts. We feel a compulsive need to fill every empty space with stimulation. The practice of silence is a gentle rebellion against this. It is the intentional choice to create small pockets of quiet in your day. It might mean drinking your morning coffee while just looking out the window, with no screen and no sound. It might mean taking a walk and choosing to listen to the birds, or the sound of your own footsteps instead of a podcast. It might mean pausing for 10 seconds before you respond to a provocative email or comment, allowing your initial emotional reaction to pass. This practice is the harbor you build for yourself. The world is a vast and stormy sea. The principles we have discussed are the tools and the skills you use to navigate that sea. But you cannot sail forever. You need a safe place to anchor your ship, to make repairs, to rest and resupply. The practice of silence is that quiet harbor. Every time you choose stillness over noise, you are steering your ship into this harbor. You are giving your mind a chance to process, to integrate the lessons you are learning. You are creating space where the wisdom of Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius can take root, rather than being washed away by the next wave of chaos. This is where your untouchable state is solidified. It's in these small, repeated moments of quiet that you strengthen the walls of your inner citadel. It is in the silence that you can hear the difference between your own wise, rational mind and the chattering of your ego or the echoes of other people's negativity. The image is simple. Waking up before the rest of the world, a warm cup in your hands. The house is still. The sky is just beginning to turn from black to gray. At that moment, there are no demands, no opinions, no emergencies. There is only the profound peace of being. This is not something that happens by accident. It is a deliberate choice. It is the decision to protect your own tranquility, to treat your own peace as something sacred. Where in your day can you create 5 minutes of intentional silence? Not just an absence of noise, but a deliberate turning away from it? What would you hear in that silence? What truths might emerge if you gave them the space to breathe? This is how you move from intellectual understanding to embodied peace. You stop just knowing the path and you start walking it, step by step. You make tranquility a habit, not just a concept. You learn to carry the silence of the harbor with you, even when you are sailing back out into the open sea. You learn that your peace is not dependent on the weather, but on your ability to find your way back to your own quiet shore. The world will never stop being a noisy, chaotic place. The storms will always come. People will say what they say, and events will unfold as they will. But the aim was never to silence the world. The aim was to find the silence within you. The 10 principles are not a checklist to complete. They are the stones you use to build your inner citadel, the fire you use to forge your character, the sea you learn to navigate. You are not the fleeting emotions that pass through you. You are not the opinions of others. You are the fortress, the quiet, unshakable space that observes it all. The peace you seek is not out there, somewhere to be found. It is right here, waiting to be built. Subscribe for more journeys into the quiet.